Hi, hello, it's Cathy Richardson from Diversity Yoga here. A lot of people often ask me about having a yoga practice at home and finding something that they can do that's relatively easy to remember so that they can obviously continue that practice when they're not at class, perhaps when they have to babysit the children, perhaps when it's holiday time. And I always say one of the best things to do is a round or few rounds of sun salutation. Now, this video is about the sequence of sun salutations, and then I will also talk you through a few modifications that you can do. So what I'm going to show you now is very, very suitable for beginners. So if you come to the front of your yoga mat, we always start our sun salutations in Tadasana, which is mountain pose. The feet are facing forward, the tailbone is dropped down, pelvis is pulled up, hands to the chest. Now we're going to reach up as we inhale, and then on the exhale, fold forward and bend your knees as much as you need to place your hands on the floor. You could have your knees so bent that your belly is resting on your thighs, or your hands can be down on the floor. Then we're going to step our right leg back, a nice long lunge. Keep everything forward in one direction. Prepare your hands for your body weight and step the left leg back, and now you find yourself in plank. So from plank pose, release the knees to the mat, and then comes the challenge with your elbows hinging to your elbows, to your ribcage. Take your chest and chin to the floor, and from here float forward into a low cobra. In cobra, tuck your toes and then push your body up all the way into downward facing dog. I like to rise on the balls of my toes here, looking forward, and then swing the right leg forward, square everything up, and energize the back leg to step forward and you're back in a forward bend. And now we float all the way up to standing, and then bring your hands back into the center of your chest. That's one round, and then we repeat on the other side. So inhale to reach, and exhale to fold. The left leg steps back, a nice long lunge, and then the right leg follows. And then knees, chest and chin between the palms, and you float up into a low cobra again. Tuck your toes and back to downward facing dog. Lift onto the balls of the feet. Left foot comes forward, right foot comes forward, and then float up to standing and return to mountain pose. So we've done effectively one round of sun salutations, once on the left leg, once on the right leg. Now, this can be as hard or as easy as you want it to be. And if you feel that you have real movement issues, you can always slow it down to do simply just a part of the whole sun salutation. So you can come to Tadasana, reach up, and as you exhale, fold forward and turn this into a simple forward bend routine, and then roll back up to standing and down. Or you can take it from here, floating all the way forward, step the right foot back, and then bring your knee down to the floor. So instead of bringing both chest and chin down, you can bring knee down and stay here for a while to stretch out before you straighten your knee and place your hands on the floor and come into plank pose. Now, one of the big problems that people have with sun salutation is swinging the leg forward. And especially if you have a little bit of limited mobility, to come from here to there is not quite so difficult. But to come from here all the way forward for some people is a challenge. And you may find that you can bring your body from down dog to here. Then nothing wrong with taking your hand and helping your leg forward. We're aiming to get a 90-degree bend at the front knee, so we have knee over ankle. And when you're here, Then placing the hands down, placing the hands perhaps on blocks or fingers in pyramids, energizing the back leg to step forward a whole lot easier. The other challenge that I know certainly some of my clients have is a lack of upper body strength for a start, to come from plank pose into 8-point pose, Ashtanga Namaskara. So Ashtanga Namaskara is here. It's a bit like a caterpillar. So to get into that is a challenge, because we need to open the shoulders and we need to use the tricep muscles. And the big secret here, if you look at me from the front, is where my elbows are hinging. I notice with a lot of people that they take the elbows out to the side, and that's really hard if your wrists are very, very rarely going to be strong enough to take you down all the way. However, if you rotate your elbows forward, press your thumb and forefinger strongly down into the floor so that your elbows are supported, your shoulders are back and down. Let's take the knees to hip width apart for argument's sake. Then you can hinge your elbows back and take your chest down to the floor. So a lot easier to do if you look at this from the side. Oh, my microphone is creating a bit of a belly for me. Good. So from here, if you roll your elbows back and down and hinge your shoulders forward so that your elbows come to your side body, that's a whole lot easier. And then to float into a low cobra, not so much of a problem. So the other thing with sun salutation is that it is breath-centered, as is our whole yoga practice. And it's always the same. We inhale as we lift the rib cage on the expansion, and we exhale as we contract. So if we start and talk through the breathing of a sun salutation, in Tadasana, obviously you're breathing just naturally. But then we're going to reach up to inhale, and then we're going to fold and use the folding action to squeeze the air out of your body into your forward bend. From forward bend, the right leg is going to step back. That's an inhale. Exhale for plank. Now in plank, we hold until the knees, chest and chin comes onto the floor, and then a natural lifting in your rib cage to inhale whilst you're in cobra. Tuck the toes and exhale for downward facing dog. Inhale to swing the right foot forward. Exhale for the left foot, and that brings you to a natural expansion to inhale. And exhale to come back into Namaste. So working your way through a few rounds of sun salutation first thing in the morning is a great way to engage all the muscles in your body, to use all the joints, every ligament, every tendon, breath-centered. You can make it really fast, so it's really cardiovascular, or you can slow it down and go very, very slowly so that you can feel every muscle working in your body. And the beauty of that is that you can do one round, which is once on the left leg and once on the right leg, or in the yogic tradition, 108 rounds on each leg. And whichever way you do it, there's no right or wrong as long as you do what feels good in your body. I wish you a really lovely home practice. See you again soon. Namaste.